New reaction tonight to President Joe Biden's comments that the risk of nuclear Armageddon is at its highest level since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis.
Mr. Biden made the comments off camera at a fundraiser last night. They were in response to Russian officials talking about the possibility of using tactical nuclear weapons after suffering massive setbacks in the eight-month invasion of Ukraine.
12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie spoke with Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed today about the president's comments and joins us live in studio. Alex?
Well, the White House press secretary said this week no new intelligence was behind President Biden's words of warning, nor was there information that Russia was preparing to imminently use nuclear weapons. Senator Reed, who chairs the Armed Services Committee, says there is still reason, though, to be concerned about Russia's next move. While off camera at a fundraiser in New York Thursday, President Joe Biden reacted to threats from Russian President Vladimir Putin on the use of tactical nuclear weapons in Ukraine. The president said, quote, "We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis," and added, "I don't think there is any such thing as the ability to easily use a tactical nuclear weapon and not end up with Armageddon." The comments from Putin come after massive setbacks on the battlefield in Ukraine, leading to speculation about what he would be willing to do to turn the course of the war that Russia started in February. Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed, chair of the Armed Services Committee, says this is a serious moment in time.
Not a border squabble between two small countries, and we'd like to help them, we could, or stabilize it. You have a nuclear power that is started an unprovoked conflict with another country.
Reed says although far from the level of urgency with the Cuban Missile Crisis, a 13-day showdown that put the U.S. on the brink of nuclear war 60 years ago, he says it is the closest the country has come to real threats in a military context.
We're in a serious confrontation, and there could be serious consequences, and we're working every day to minimize those potentials.
Earlier today, Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey, a member of the Foreign Relations Committee, said he'd be filing several amendments to the National Defense Authorization Act in an effort to reduce the risk of nuclear Armageddon and stop the proliferation of nuclear weapons. Coming up new at 5, hear from 12 News analyst retired Lieutenant General Reggie Centracchio, who was a new lieutenant stationed on the Cuban Missile site back in 1962. Live in studio, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.